Welcome to the Explainer. There's this tiny little part of grammar that can cause some surprisingly big headaches. I'm talking about pronouns. Today, we're going to demystify them for good.
All right, let's just jump right in with a classic. Me and Diana work together. Come on, you've heard this a million times, right? You might have even said it. And look, everyone knows what you mean, but it's just not quite right. But hey, no worries at all. By the time we're done here, you're not only going to know why it's wrong, you'll know how to nail it every single time. So let's do this. Okay, first things first. We need to meet the main characters in the story, the pronouns themselves. We've got to understand what their job is in a sentence. It's actually a pretty simple role, but it's super important. Basically, you can think of them as stand-ins, like an understudy in a play. They jump in for a noun to keep things from getting repetitive. I mean, who wants to say, John went to the store because John needed milk? It's so much smoother to say, because he needed milk. See? They just make everything flow better. So here's the cool part. Most of the mix-ups people have with pronouns, they really just come down to two big matchups. The first one is the doer versus the receiver, who's doing the action. And the second is the modifier versus the standalone, which is all about ownership. We're going to break them both down. All right, let's get into our first matchup. This one is the big one. It gets right to the heart of that whole me and Diana problem. It's all about figuring out who's the doer and who's the receiver in a sentence. Okay, here they are, all the players on the field. See those pronouns in the subject columns? Those are your doers. They're the ones making things happen. And the ones in the object columns, they're the receivers. The action is happening to them. So this is absolutely key. Subject pronouns, words like I, he, she, we, they are the stars of the show. They are the doers. In a sentence like, she is tired, who's tired? She is. She's the subject, she's in the spotlight. Now, object pronouns are the opposite. The action is done to them. They're just sitting back and receiving it. So in Maria called me, who's doing the calling? Maria. And who's getting the call? Me. See? Me, him, her, us, they're always on the receiving end. And this all boils down to three super simple rules. Rule 1, I is always capitalized, always. Rule 2, me can never be the subject. It's just not a star of the show kind of word. And that leads directly to rule 3. Just don't start a sentence with me and. If you remember that, you're gold. All right, matchup number 2. This time we're talking about ownership, possession. It's another one of those things where a tiny little mix-up can make your sentence sound kind of off. The difference is actually super clear when you see it like this. On one side, you have words like my, your, our. These guys are possessive adjectives, and they're a little needy. They always need a noun right next to them. I call it their noun buddy. But on the other side, you've got mine, yours, ours. These are the possessive pronouns, and they're totally independent. They stand alone. So here are a few quick tips to remember. You'll notice that words like yours and mine often show up at the very end of a sentence. And here's a big one. The word its, I-T-S, is always an adjective. It always needs a noun buddy, like the dog wagged its tail. Tail is the buddy. Okay, we've got the rules for both our matchups. Now it's time to put this knowledge to the test. Let's circle all the way back to that first sentence and see if we can fix it. So here it is again. Me and Diana work together. When we started, we just had a feeling it sounded a bit weird. But now we know exactly what the problem is. And fixing it is easy. Step 1, who's doing the work? Well, it's me and Diana. We're the subjects. Step 2, remember the rule? Me can't be a subject. Nope. Step 3, so we swap it out for the right subject pronoun, which is I. And that brings us to the final correct sentence. Diana and I work together. Oh, and it's also just good manners to put the other person's name first. All right, you ready for a little pop quiz? Let's see what you've got. The test was difficult for you and blank. Is it A, I, or B, me? Take a second, think about it. And the answer is B, me. So why is that? Well, who's the subject of this sentence? It's the test. The test is the thing that was difficult. You and me, we're not doing anything. We're just receiving the difficulty. So we have to use the object pronoun, me. Okay, next one. Mario and blank are going to the movies later. So who are the doers here? Who's going to the movies? That's right. The answer is I, because Mario and I are the ones doing the action. We're the ones going. Since we're the subjects, you got to use the subject pronoun I.
All right, last one for the quiz. This one's about possession. The red house is blank. Is it our or ours?
It has to be ours. And why is that? Because it's standing all by itself at the end of the sentence. It doesn't have a noun buddy with it. See, if you wanted to use our, you'd have to say something like, that is our house.
So let's wrap this all up in a simple cheat sheet. Just remember these 4 things. 1. Subjects are the doers. 2. Objects are the receivers. 3. Possessive adjectives need a noun buddy. And 4. Possessive pronouns stand alone. Honestly, if you can get these 4 things down, it'll make a huge difference in how clear and polished you sound. And that's pretty much it. You've just tackled one of the trickiest, most common grammar hurdles out there. Now you know the rules. So what's the next grammar mystery you want to solve? Thanks so much for watching.